here. Chris Ockley here at 2011 St. Louis Suburban South Conference meet with longtime Parkway West coach Dale Shephard. I know let's see, 3 weeks ago you guys had a really good showing at Hancock. What was that, first, second place? Remind me what.
Oh, that's a good question. West Plains won.
Okay.
And I honestly can't remember whether we were second or third.
Right.
Kids ran a pretty good race that day.
Yeah.
And our better race was at the West Invitational.
The week later,
right,
the home meet.
Right.
And today end up fourth, a pretty tight finish. Parkway Central winning 57, Webster Grove 61, Kirkwood 64, and you guys at 75. But
correct.
You guys went 1-3 with is it Chris Carter?
Chris Carter.
And Kevin Cobalt, who I assume is Tim's little brother, I assume?
That is correct.
Okay, well just tell me about how things went today for you. And what.
We had a couple of kids that were hurt today and didn't race, and but those two guys went out and did a fantastic job. In fact, at one point they were 1-2, and Kevin stumbled coming up the hill and actually fell.
Well, it sounds like he was the only one. There were several, I think, that did that. So.
Right. And so very pleased with those guys. Did a good job of working together. They were going back and forth, and our philosophy is race elbow to elbow, and they did a nice job of doing that. It kind of hurt when we were missing a couple of our guys, and two of our top four runners weren't in there today.
Yeah.
And that kind of hurts. So those guys did an outstanding job.
Yeah. What's you've had a great tradition of producing great guys teams year after year. Tell me what some of the successes, what some of the big reasons behind that. Obviously good coaching, but
well, I think it comes down to good kids make good coaches.
Yeah.
And it's tradition. We talk about having a tradition and having pride in what the teams had before you have done, and having pride in what happens afterwards. Our philosophy, or our three words, are tradition, pride, and responsibility. There has been a tradition over the years, and everybody takes pride in what happens, but
yeah.
Those on the team share the responsibility of continuing that tradition. So
yeah. Well, what going forward is the guys that you're missing? Good chance they'll be back.
Well,
by the end of the season. Well,
we've got one guy, Sherman, has got some shin problems, so
yeah.
We've been doing a lot of work in the pool. We were in the pool this morning at 6:30 before we came to the meet. And the other guy was in the hospital yesterday, and he has possibly strep throat.
Yeah.
So they think that he's going to be coming back next week, but strep throat doesn't heal that quickly.
Right.
So I think Sherman will be back.
Yeah. Well, what are goals going forward? What's the district outlook like? What's the it's a pretty tough district, I think, from what I remembering.
Tough district and sectional, because we'll get some teams from the sectional coming up. But our goal every year is to win a conference, or not win, but qualify from district to sectional and sectional to state, and go to state and run a good race.
Yeah.
So we don't put any goals on places the next 2 weeks. The goal, other than to finish in the top four.
Yeah.
And for the kids to go out and perform well.
Yeah. What do you? What's your message once you get to that state meet for kids? Because so it is another meet, but it's not another meet. It's the last one. It's the biggest one. It's whatever your whole training and season is most people's is shooting for. What's do you try to teach the kids, or train their mindset differently, or what's their approach heading into the state meet?
I don't think you can change things going into the state meet. I can remember years ago, I heard a coach telling his kids before the sectional race, he says, we've been running from behind all year. Now we've got to go out and get it in the beginning. And
yeah.
I thought, I really don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
You can't change in the middle of the stream. The big thing we talk about going to state meet is really simple. You control what you give, not what you get. Mm-hmm. Go down there and be the best that you can be. And if you do that, then that's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
And if that gets you 4th place, it's great. If that gets you 6th place, it's great. If you win, it's great. But you control what you give, not what you get.
Right, right. Well, tell me, last question, we'll let you go here, but as you've been several years ago inducted in the Missouri Track and Cross Country Coaches Hall of Fame, what advice would you have for any young coaches or any coaches that, after your years of experience and all that you've learned?
I think that you can't be afraid to put in the time. I say that, but then again, I'm not a coach that spends all summer with them.
Yeah.
I don't go with the kids in the summer. When I first started coaching, we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
We couldn't be with them during the summer. And, I think kids have to assume some responsibility. It goes back to that responsibility word. And
Yeah.
they have to assume the responsibility to train. I think the big thing is to, motivate kids, get them excited about the sport of cross country, and things will fall in place.
Right.
Go out and get the education. Learn everything you can, read everything you can about the sport. And
is it tougher to motivate kids these days with all the technology and the toys and the gadgets and the things that other ways that they can get spend their time?
It is to a certain extent, but we had over 45 kids, 45 boys out for cross country this year.
Yeah.
Some of them were out there for social reasons.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years we've had several kids run over 500 miles from June 1 to September 1.
Right.
So, I think it's the coach motivating the kid, but then the kid's motivating the other kids.
Right, right.
It's kind of hand in hand. We got to work together. So, that's
part of that technology. I think the internet's opened up kids' eyes and they see what's going on around the state and around the country and think, oh, well, I want to do this or be this. So that's another way that they've gained motivation.
Yes.
So. Well, thanks for your time, Coach, and good luck the next couple weeks.